Sensing disaster. 2,300 years ago, hordes of mice, snakes, and insects fled the Greek city of Helike on the Gulf of Corinth. After these creatures departed, an earthquake occurred in the night, wrote the ancient Roman writer Claudius Alienus. The city subsided, an immense wave flooded, and Helike disappeared. Scientists have long suspected that animals might have a sixth sense. This sense alerts them when natural hazards, like earthquakes and tornadoes, are about to strike. Until recently, though, we have had to rely on informal reports of changes in animal behavior. However, scientists have now begun to detect evidence that suggests animals can indeed make predictions. A natural warning. In 2011, a research team began a study of animal behavior in Llana Chaga National Park in the Peruvian Amazon. In order to track animal movements, the team placed motion-triggered cameras throughout the park. On a single day, the cameras typically recorded up to 15 animal sightings. Then the researchers noticed a change. Over a 3-week period, the sightings dropped to fewer than 5 a day. In the last few days, there were no animal sightings at all. The researchers were puzzled. This was highly unusual behavior, especially in a rainforest area normally filled with wildlife. But then, at the end of the 3-week period, disaster struck. On August 24, the area was hit by a 7.0 magnitude earthquake. Could the animals have left the area or found places to hide because they sensed the earthquake was coming? As far as we know, this is the first time that motion-triggered cameras have documented this phenomenon prior to an earthquake, says lead researcher Dr. Rachel Grant. She believes the findings could have important consequences for earthquake prediction. Animals have the potential to be reliable forecasters of earthquakes and could be used alongside other monitoring systems, she says. Cameras that track animal movements could therefore be used as an affordable early warning system. Scientists are not certain why animal movements might change before earthquakes. However, Grant has a theory. Prior to an earthquake, large forces stress the Earth's surface and change the atmosphere. The atmospheric changes can, in turn, cause increased serotonin levels in animals and humans, leading to unpleasant feelings of restlessness. 2 weeks before the earthquake in Peru, a significant atmospheric change was recorded. 8 days before the quake, it became even more intense, possibly causing the animals to leave the area. When it comes to predicting earthquakes, rodents such as rats appear to be the most sensitive animals in the rainforest. What was interesting was that rodents were the first to disappear, Grant says. They were nowhere to be seen 8 days before the earthquake. That they should completely disappear was amazing. Grant believes that recent research in China and Japan may help explain why this happened. According to these studies, rats' sleeping and waking patterns are disturbed in the days leading up to an earthquake. These changes may alert them to a coming disaster. Follow the birds. Like rats, birds may also be sensitive to subtle changes in the environment. In fact, scientists have recently learned that some birds may be able to sense severe storms before they arrive. In 2014, a team of U.S. scientists studied the migration patterns of golden-winged warblers. To track the birds' movements, the researchers attached small, lightweight geolocators that recorded the birds' locations. In April, the team expected to find the warblers in the Cumberland Mountains of eastern Tennessee, where they breed and raise their young. But the birds were not there. Instead, they discovered that most of the birds had flown to Florida. One had even traveled to Cuba. Several days later, the birds arrived back in Tennessee after a mysterious round-trip journey of more than 900 miles, 1,500 kilometers. The researchers finally worked out what may have prompted the trip. At around the time the birds left Tennessee, a severe weather system was approaching the Midwest region. The deadly storms created more than 80 tornadoes and left at least 35 people dead. Scientists theorize the warblers were alerted by infrasound, a type of low-frequency noise produced by the storms. Humans can't hear infrasound, but birds can. It appears the warblers detected the weather system and decided to get out of the way. We were completely blown away by this behavior, says researcher Gunnar Kramer, a population ecologist at the University of Minnesota. It shows that the birds can do more than we give them credit for. Eventually, scientists hope that signs from the natural world might help us forecast earthquakes and serious weather events more effectively. Even a few minutes' warning could be enough for people to avoid the destruction that severe storms and earthquakes can cause. Over 2,000 years ago, it seems the animals and Helike had an important message to share. It's only now that we're really paying attention.